I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Before you approve the minutes, I just want to call this to your attention. On August 14th, you weren't at the meeting, and number 7, I think there's a $33,000 plus error in it, and I just wanted to make you aware of it before you approve the minutes.
What?
Christie's reading it.
Oh. There you go. This was the agenda.
Are you talking about the EMA grant?
Yeah.
So it says the Department of Emergency Services requesting board approving the authorized President Board to execute grant application documents relating to the Emergency Management Performance Grant for fiscal year 2014, and to further approve Director Dale Wedge to execute where appropriate in the amount of $66,784 with a 50% match of funds for a total of $133,568. So that probably should have been $33,568. Is that what you're saying? It should have.
Well, that sounds like
Like 100%
match.
match is what
Yeah, it's about
what
100%
is
match
Heidi
instead of
saying?
a 50% match.
Okay.
Well, I think when they talk about the percentage, they're talking about, they look at the total amount, so we're 50% and 50, so it's 66 and 66 together.
That's
And
where.
I'm saying, so our
It's
money
nowhere.
is 50% of the total grant.
Okay, I figure
Right.
50% match would be 50% more than the,
Yeah.
the grant.
Right, it's the
Yeah.
way, it's the
Yeah.
way that they word it.
Yeah.
So we're matching 50 and they're matching.
Right.
So-
There's no
So
problem.
66 and 66 together come up to.
Yeah, to the
133.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So then, do you feel comfortable with that? And Heidi, is that?
Yeah,
would
it's
that
the
be-
way that particular
That's
grant
the way
is
it's
worded,
worded.
is a 50% match. They're not saying we're putting in 33 and they're putting in 66. I mean, they kind of all word them
It's
different.
66,000 and then the 50% match is 66,000, so the whole total
It's a
grant
50-50 match.
is $133,568.
But we're just paying 66,000, and then the total grant is 133,568.
Yeah, 66 and
So-
66 is,
so-
Yeah.
2 is 12, 13, it's 132.
Yeah,
Well, with the
Who's
extra.
paying the
yes.
extra buck?
So it might have just been the way that it was worded.
The way it's worded.
So the total grant, just so we got to clear the record, so the total grant is 133,568,
Correct.
and then our portion that we're covering is 66,784, nothing
which
more
is
than
on the
50.
total.
Okay,
Yeah, it's correct.
okay, all right.
Yeah, they don't
When
know.
these things come
Not a
in, anytime
problem.
that there's any request for action to come
Hopefully
in,
you won't
any
know
kind of
what we're
match
at.
for anything, I go
Right.
right to Heidi,
Okay.
hand in the paperwork, and go
Okay.
over the numbers, so.
All right. Well,
And
thanks
you
for
were-
bringing that
you were
up
not
to our
at that
attention. I could see though the way that you
Yeah,
probably
so
just
some
look
of
at
the
this,
other
it looks
ones
just,
say it different.
yeah,
As a matter of fact, yeah, the wording has been.
Different from what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah.
okay. All right, thank you though. So then on, for item number 1, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes for the meeting of August 14, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
I motion approved.
Just so you know, you were not at that meeting, so you're
Abstain.
gonna wanna.
Okay, abstain. Correct, thank you.
Sorry.
See, time you come, y'all flustered.
That's
So
right,
if you
everyone
wanna
here will
write abstain on
correct
there
us,
and
no
then
matter
pass it
what.
That's what I started to tell them before.
How to get signed when you're flustered on the first one.
And you don't have to have these on
I'll
me
get
because I
flustered
stole
on
them
the
and gave them
second
to the financial, so.
All right. Sounds good. Okay, then number 2, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes for the meeting of August 19th, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Motion approved. And number 3 is going to be the financials with Heidi.
Okay, financial financials today include a revenue certification for the Board of DD Construction Fund, supplemental appropriation for the Board of DD Operating Fund to increase appropriations as approved by Board Resolution 14-588 for the transfer out for the roof project. Cash transfers out of the general fund for a portion of 2014 funding for the county home and the debt payment on various purpose note series 2013. A contract for Tremco for the purchase of state term schedule roofing materials for the Board of DD Adult Workshop and Administration Building Roofing Project in the amount of $412,000. Travel request for Common Pleas Court, Community Development, Job and Family Services Probate Court, and the Recorder's Office. Payment to NOACA for payment of 2014-2015 dues in the amount of $25,419. Payment to the Geauga County Agricultural Society for 2014 funding for the repair of fairground buildings in the amount of $20,000. Payment to the Safety Company LLC for the purchase of Granite XP inspection software, hardware, training, and support for the Water Resources Department in the amount of $31,319. And a payment to Geauga Building Company for pay request number 11 for the Board of DD ICFDD downsizing project in the amount of $93,872.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
I motion approved. Thank you, Heidi.
Thanks, Aye.
Jessica's not here for
Right,
this one,
it's
so.
just a, yeah, just a bond release, right?
Yes, this is the one that got missed from the
Oh.
other ones that we did the other day. When I was doing the releases of them, I noticed that this one got missed, so.
Oh.
Okay, so if you want to read number 4.
The Department on Aging is requesting the board release the bid performance bond for Comfort Keepers for the homemaker and personal care services for Geauga County residents age 60 and older for the period ending August 14, 2014, as all specifications have been met.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
I motion approved. Okay, the Community Economic Development. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Good, good.
This is a permission to, request for permission to advertise for the release of funds for the combined notice. This is for any funds that we have, that possibly may be going to the Thompson Target area. One of the projects is with our grant next year that we'll be doing the part of the community center. And it just basically, is housekeeping. It's nothing set in stone. We just have to do this in case more funds become available and we can do more on that project area. We have to cover all of our bases, so this is just the first step in getting that together.
Okay. So if we could read number 5.
The Office of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board grant permission to advertise the notice to public of a finding of no significant impact on the environment FONSI and notice of intent to request a release of funds, NOI, ROF combined notice in regards to the Thompson Square Target Area Community Center under the Community Development Block Grant CDBG BF 14-1AZ1 and the Community Development Block Grant BF 13-1AZ1 and the program income funds to be advertised on August 18, 2014.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
I motion approved.
Thank you.
Okay, the Board of Developmental Disabilities. Hey, how are you?
Good morning,
Good
Commissioners.
morning.
Doing very well so far.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch out there for that nail gun and stuff.
Apparently that'll happen. You're clumsy.
See, I can just see you pounded next to the wall. These are dangerous.
So we've got the roof project for,
Yes, oh, I guess I should speak on this.
Yeah.
I thought I was
Deal.
just called up here for the heck of it. Earlier today, we had the PO for Tremco. What we're trying to do is trying to keep the cost for this project as low as possible. So what we came up with was the idea to bid out the labor and then buy our materials through the Ohio State Purchasing Program. Hopefully to save some of that profit that might have been charged for the products and materials. So the second component is the labor on the project. We had about 6 people come to our mandatory pre-bid meeting. 5 of them actually expressed interest in moving ahead. And we actually had 3 people bid on the project. The lowest overall bid was Building Technicians Corporation, which ironically had done our roof on the transportation building. So we had gone back through, because we had some issues on the transportation project, but nothing with the roof, nothing with Building Corporation, so they were a good vendor. All 3 vendors that supplied bids are qualified. They actually appear on the Tremco list on the state cooperative as certified installers. So we think we've got a good contractor. They've kind of hesitant about taking the roof off here as we head into fall, but they're confident that they can get it done within a 6-week time frame, definitely by the end of the year. So we're recommending a Building Technicians Corporation.
What kind of roof are they gonna put on that? Is that a metal roof or
It
is
is a flat roll, I think it's
It
a
is?
polymer type. It's kind of a special polymer type.
A membrane type thing
Yeah.
or something?
And there is, like, we actually have 2 buildings we're doing. The adult services building is relatively flat. It does have a pitch to it. When I say flat, it doesn't have any HVAC units. There's a couple openings there for vents that will be removed. So it's a relatively, even though it's bigger in square footage, I think that's 31,000 square feet. It is pretty, I can say easy, I'm not doing the work, but nothing's in the way. It's kind of a straightforward project. The administration school building, it's a little bit more complicated. It has different levels.
Pitches.
There's actually, part of it is shingled. There's some pitches in some places. And they have to move around a bunch of HVAC units on that. So
How
even
many
though that
square feet
roof-
is that one?
I believe it's a little over 25,000. I think it's like 25,876.
Got about 56 or
Yeah, so about total it's about 57,000 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah, and we've, like I said, the adult services building, that's the original roof, so it's 20, or actually 30 years old.
30.
From when they opened Metzenbaum, if that's the original room?
The adult building was built mid-90s, early 90s.
Right, maybe, yeah, maybe late
Yeah,
eighties.
predates the,
Yeah.
Time flies.
yeah, the school dates back to the 60s.
Right.
but
Yeah, I was
there's
gonna,
been several
yeah, but that's
additions
not
to
the
it.
original roof.
Right, correct.
Yeah, and as far as doing it this time of year, there wouldn't have been a real good deal if they would have done it in the summer, having the rain that we've had.
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hopefully now we're gonna have our
kind of-
summer, huh? You
Well,
think?
hopefully the weather will cooperate.
They're gonna start today, because it'd be a really nice day. Be on the roof today at 90 degrees.
Tom was asking me yesterday about it. I said, well, wait a second, I have to get the commissioners to approve it first, so. Yeah, I wish it
Okay.
was about three months earlier, but.
Yeah,
Yeah, sounds like an expensive price, but, it's
it's a lot to do.
it's a lot of square footage. It's
Yeah.
not a,
I think the whole project, if we look at both the materials, the labor, and having to move and reposition the HVAC
The rip
units,
off.
it's about $18.75 a square yard, so it's expensive in that regard. We're hoping that, again, we kind of have a contingency in case there's any major things, which we don't expect. So hopefully we'll credit at the end. But so far we're trying to do things before it becomes a major problem and
Sure.
leaks. And, I know a couple of places have had their roofs torn off and it's ruined their floors. I know here,
Notre Dame had that with the gym.
out
Well,
in
if they don't
California,
have a
they just
roof, you're in
installed
big-
a
yeah.
gym on their basketball court.
And the whole thing came down, ruined the floor, and you can't use the floor after it gets
Yeah.
wet like that, all.
okay.
Well,
I could go ahead and do a read on number 6.
The Board of Developmental Disabilities is requesting the board award the combined base bid to Building Technicians Corporation for the labor to install the Bessie Benner Messenbaum Center 2014 Adult Workshop and Administration Building Roof Replacement Project in the amount of $624,100 as they represented the lowest and best bid.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
I motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day now.
Hey, you too.
In the engineer's office.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay.
just, they're trading. They sold sublot
Okay.
number 26. So they want that release, and they're gonna replace that with sublot number 22 as the performance guarantee for 13A.
Okay.
Pretty simple.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
And then, so we'll just do 7 and 8 then together, okay?
The county engineer's office is requesting the board approve, accept, and execute the mortgage deed for sublot number 22, parcel number 02421126 for the performance guarantee for sublot number 26 in the Edwards Landing subdivision in Canyon Lakes County, phase 13A in Bainbridge Township. The county engineer's office is requesting the board approve and execute the mortgage release for sublot number 26, parcel 02421120 in Canyon Lakes County, phase 13A in Bainbridge Township.
I'll make those motions.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
I vote stand approved. Okay, we've got another one here for, with Kekosing for
Number
resurfacing.
60 Bainbridge Township, Bainbridge Road. It's actually County Highway 11, federal project. We have a $640,000 grant on that job, 317 approximate on the county side. And that's the resurfacing that will be taking place within the next few weeks.
And we had covered all of this last week, so any questions? We could go ahead and read number 9.
The county engineer's office, excuse me, is requesting the board approve and execute the unit price contract with the Coasting Construction Company Incorporated for the asphalt resurfacing of Bainbridge Road, CH11, sections A through G in Bainbridge Township in the amount of $957,545.90.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Motion approved. And number 10,
This is just the signing of the contract for the new engineer's office building.
anything you want to add or?
No, we've done our, they've done their legwork, we've done ours, reviewed it, their subs all look very good. We've got some recommendations actually for some of their subs. People have asked, hey, these guys are good. And, they're eager to get started, and obviously we're eager to get started, so.
Okay.
So, it's all, I think we're ready to go.
They haven't done anything there yet?
We've done what
I know
we
you
said.
guys
We've done
did
what
site
we
prep.
said. We did site prep like we said we would,
Mhm.
and that is complete and ready for them just to come in. And we have, would like to, have a pre-con here real quick. We have a tentative one hopefully scheduled for this week,
Okay.
based on the signing.
All right. Okay, so if we could go ahead and read number 10.
The county engineer's office is requesting the board approve and execute the AIA document A101-2007 standard form of agreement with Lakeland Management Systems Incorporated for the new Geauga County Engineer's Office building in the amount of $1,245,000.
I'll make those motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye, motion stands approved.
If I could interject, I have 2 questions. One for you. We received some correspondence from NOACA regarding an accident, regarding an Amish buggy and a pothole. And I don't know, they basically sent that from you through them to us. And I don't know if there's something we can help you with, if you can provide us with more information.
Yeah, actually, Mary and I both talked to Grace the night that,
Yeah.
with Newcomb. That was something that
Yeah.
we talked to Joe with, a number of times with just that project there. And Mary
Yeah.
and Grace actually, there's some other form of funding that
We can
Grace is
get.
gonna try to get that, I guess they were gonna get back with me
Mm-hmm.
and Mary and Joe to basically let them know that there's going to be a strong possibility that she's going to try to push some type of some other fund. I
Funding.
can't remember what
There's
the
other
name of it
funding
is.
for that,
That she'll
but-
be able to get to possibly give Middlefield Township a shot in the arm to be able to have funding to do
Mm-hmm.
that Newcomb Road, because they're in a situation they can't financially do it, so we can't do it.
What happens is sometimes we have some money left over
Okay.
and that can be directed to the township. But, that's what we're trying to get at.
Yeah, it was unclear so we just wanted to ask, basically the way it came through to us.
I'll find out, I'll
And
look into it
to
more
see if
and
we
see
could,
what she has to
how
say.
we could
Yeah.
address that
It'd be
situation.
great
So it's
if we could
not
do
just one individual, it's that southern part of Newcomb Road that you're.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Yep, that's
Um,
it.
The other item I have is for Mr. Johnston on Wooden Road.
Yeah, what happened?
We are taking care of that.
Thank
Just, we,
you. Wasn't it
some-
just stones, and a little bit of landscaping?
Some dirt, seeding, we actually seeded that twice, and it just
Yeah.
didn't take, so we'll get it there and we're gonna take care of it.
Yeah, he called, and thank you very much for calling. I gave the number, but he was otherwise happy with the road
Right.
and just that part.
Yeah, so we're gonna make sure we get that taken care of.
Thank you very
Okay.
much, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so
So
much.
quickly like that,
Have a good
thanks.
day. All right, Mr. Burnick, how are you?
Mister.
That's my dad, right? That's what you're supposed to say, Mr. Bird, that's my dad.
Morning, chief.
Morning, sir.
That's
Morning,
you.
everyone.
Hey,
The first two items is for approval for payroll and accounting forms. We kind of lost somebody in our department, Diane Arp. But we now have another person, Diane Dawson, which
She went back
is,
to me.
yeah, she went back to
Oh.
the main name, so
that's a nice
she's,
Dawson, that's nice.
we got to keep all the qualifications and everything, which is great, so.
So we lost
great
Dark.
person.
I just stayed with
No
those
more-
three
no more
letters.
dark.
Still a D.
Dawson.
But-
It's,
Many times as I had decided, I just stayed with the three letters.
it's
Yeah,
hard.
easy.
Yeah, it's hard when now I go, when I yell across the office, Dart, I can't do that anymore because it's Dawson now.
Now you can
so
call her
it's like,
Dolly,
oh.
yeah.
She doesn't answer you anymore.
Uh-oh.
So is it the Dawson?
That's what I
Is
said.
it da
Dawson.
right?
Da-
Da
da-
Dawson.
da- 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 da.
So,
So then we will be able to
The D,
read
so
both
she's
of
got the same
number
initials.
11 and 12.
The maintenance department is requesting the board approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the updated payroll authorization form. The maintenance department is requesting the board approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the updated accounting forms authorization form.
I make that motion.
Second.
I'm here.
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
I motion approved.
all right, the next one's for our clock tower up at the courthouse and then also the bell tower there. We do the very basic maintenance, but it's getting to the point where, you know, it's a little bit more complicated than what we're used to in our folks. So these guys work with clocks all throughout the whole state. So they'll come in once a year, make sure everything's done, make sure the gears and everything up there is good. 'Cause we really don't want to lose that.
See, I remember, now, this goes back probably to 5 or 6, but we got the whole new mechanism in there. Remember when we bought that? You weren't here then,
Yeah,
but,
that's more than 8
and it
years.
was tough to find it, but there was the mechanism of
Correct.
that clock, and then we put that in there because otherwise you would have been stuck with the new,
Right.
which wouldn't have,
This is.
that's quite a
this-
deal, that.
And it's got a lot of history up in there.
Yes.
You know, you get up there, if you ever get a chance, go up there in that
Yeah.
tower.
That's awesome.
And
Big
you
picture
can
comes
see
down.
everything from up there, and
Yeah.
it does all 4 sides, and right now we're having the one side that's off a little bit.
Which side is that, the south? North?
Mm. East. East side is off a little bit, so,
This is all work inside the tower.
correct.
There's no,
No facial.
how often do you guys look at the outside of that? I mean, it's not something you can,
I get on our roofs at least twice a year.
okay, I just, it's
And you go up there?
yeah, it's a curiosity
To
to
the
me,
top?
because it's like you walk by a building, you see that the mortar's coming loose or something like that.
Correct.
If it's up there in the clock tower, it's,
That's something we're probably be looking at in the next 5 years. I wanna say about 7 years ago, we did all
Point
the.
and ceiling.
point
yeah, they had
and
some, they had a big
Right.
lift that went up
Yep.
over the top,
We
and
did
so I
that
remember that.
first.
And then in
Got it.
2003, they painted all of the
Correct.
trim of
Correct.
that clock, where if you look at it, it looks like cement,
Mhm.
the color of cement,
Correct.
to blend it in with the cement. I remember Bill Repke telling me about what they did.
So those are
Before
gonna,
we came.
that actual tower, the
bell
clock
tower.
tower and the windows is gonna be our very next,
Yeah.
what we're gonna really wanna hit.
I hope you
So-
get that window, the new windows, you really need that there.
So,
All right, so then we could read number 13.
The
Okay.
maintenance department is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract agreement with the Verdon Company to perform maintenance and repair of the clock and bell towers for Geauga County for the period August 1st, 2014 through July 31st, 2016, in an amount not to exceed $10,000.
Make that motion.
Second,
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved.
Next one is just basic vending equipment. Our two biggest areas is the sheriff's department and the engineers, where they were working 24/7 basically, especially in the winter time for the guys out on the plow trucks, so we got something. We got 3 soda machines down here, 470, and a couple up at the courthouse area, and then the sheriff's and the engineers. So this is for a company to come in and keep snacks and soda.
Do they charge extra for the machine itself?
For the machine itself.
How
no,
does that
those-
work?
The machine, the soda machines usually come from Pepsi or Coke.
Uh-huh.
And then the vending machines, they supply.
They supply.
They supply.
So they
And
just
then-
take the money in from
Well,
the company. Is
they're
that
keeping
right?
the price is very low for a can of soda, 65 cents.
Oh.
So, which is very low.
Yeah,
for-
usually $2.
For nowadays, and then we get a 10%.
Oh, we
back,
do?
Yes, so, of their commission.
I just wondered about that.
Okay, so number 14,
The maintenance department is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract agreement with Geauga on Wheels LLC to deliver and install vending equipment and stock machines at Geauga County buildings for a 3-year period.
Make that motion?
Second.
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
aye, motion approved.
The next one's a 3-year contract with Thyssen Elevator Corporation. They installed the elevator at the courthouse. This is very good elevator. They've been keeping it up. They've had the maintenance agreement since they put it in. With that maintenance agreement, they keep up all the state inspections. They do the weight inspections of everything on it. So they keep everything up on that whole machine. This is very good. It's about $213 a month, so for them to keep it up. And anytime we call them, they're right out on that.
Okay.
So. and-
This is
German company,
the courthouse on the square,
Correct.
not the annex.
Correct.
huh? Oh, that one.
Right, and we got 2 over there, so, and the Opera House is what we're gonna really be looking at.
That was my
in the
next
year.
question. That's still
Yes. We've
kind of
done
a little
basic.
iffy on that.
It's passing all the state inspections, so everything's good according to the state inspectors and everything, so, but yes, we are gonna be, we've done some basic stuff to it to keep it going. So we wanna get that one, the Opera House going next first.
The top 2 tabs are for all 3 of you. All the rest of these are just for the president.
You got that?
24.
Thank you, you like those.
Go ahead and read number 15 then.
The maintenance department is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract agreement with Tyson Truck Elevator Corporation to perform preventative maintenance for the Geauga County Courthouse elevator for the period September 1st, 2014 through August 31st, 2017 in an amount not to exceed $23,000. And further approve and authorize the president of the board to initial and execute the gold service agreement and amendment number 1.
I'll make that motion?
Second.
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye, motion approved. Okay, that should do it.
Yep.
Thank you.
And, so you're aware, we're working with the city of Chardon. We got some sewer problems up at the courthouse. Part of that is gonna entail taking that out. That's gonna be about approximately $7,000. All right, that's just for the sewer. Now, to replace the sidewalk and everything, the city of Chardon's gonna do that because it is on Chardon property.
Oh.
So, I don't know if you're aware, but the building belongs to the county, but the property belongs to the city
The
of
building
Chardon.
in the parking lot.
Do they know they're gonna do the
GIS.
sidewalk?
I was in a meeting with them yesterday.
Okay.
They approved,
Oh,
that
good.
section approved it, and they said yes, and they totally agree. They gotta go to council and get it from there. So it's all a coordination thing right now of working with them, so when we can do, get that sewer line replaced and everything. What we're having is, we gotta go in twice a year and go in there and pull out all the trees and everything. This is the old clay tile for the sewer line run up in there. And actually, our sewer runs from the courthouse down North Hamden to about 4 houses down North Hamden.
This is storm sewer.
No, this is sewer.
Sanitary?
Sanitary sewer.
Sanitary.
All together.
So-
They use that old clay tile?
Yeah. So
Is the clay tile all the way down there?
Well, we don't know if it's all the way down there, but what our plan is.
We're gonna
is to
replace our
replace
section?
A quarter of our section, right up to the north end of the courthouse. What we plan on doing is putting a manhole back there another manhole back there, and that'll make it easier for cleaning and everything, because that is a very long run.
Can't be a fun project.
Going all the way down to their main, so, they are working with them, it's been great, the whole work, so, just
What's
with
the time?
Randy and everything, it's been a great work.
Yeah.
What do they get, what are you guessing, or are they saying for time?
We're gonna try to push it for this year. We're trying, like I said, coordinate it with them. They're in the process of doing some, city sidewalks. They're gonna go out for quotes for that. So they wanna tie all that together. All right, so when they go out for quote, they're gonna do this part too. So, like I said, we're trying to do the timing. So, matter of fact, we're up there right now, because the tree roots have gotten bad in there again.
So it's basically tree roots, then
Yeah.
it's just not,
We're gonna go in, replace from the one manhole to inside the building. And then we're gonna go from outside of the manhole to the north end of the courthouse and put a new manhole.
now if they have problems that then extend down the street, down North Street, then Chardon is going to have to be pulling that, because you could have some blockage there.
I think we'll be all right, but according to the city of Chardon, the homeowner is responsible up to the main line. The main line is tied in down north.
We don't have to initial those.
That can't be a pleasant job.
It's fun.
Top two or all?
Just the top two.
We enjoy it.
For all.
Good.
All right.
All right,
A lot better than being on a ship.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
Bye-bye now. Morning,
Not
Doug.
four,
Morning.
not
Morning,
these
Doug.
other ones. Look at the other job. One there.
Just the very top sign for jobs. The rest was all.
Okay, this is for a service contract with HD Supply Waterworks. We had that car hit that hydrant maybe 6 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
We had all that water outage.
Right.
This is going to be installing a insertion valve near there, so then if we ever have an issue in that area again, we'll be able to isolate, and not as many people would be without water. And then after the water study that we get done with in the next 6 months, I'm sure we're gonna find other places that are similar to this,
Similar
that
to
we need to
that.
put more valves in, but this is one we knew for sure that we're putting in right away.
Yeah, that was smart.
Yeah, it's good to have a way to control it.
This works automatically, or do you have to send
No, we
someone
would have-
out to
we have-
turn? You
we
still
can-
have to
It's
manually
manual.
shut it off,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a
We
manual.
lost thousands of gallons.
Yep.
Okay, so if we could read number 16.
The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve and execute the service contract agreement with HD Supply Waterworks LTD to perform valve insertion at the corner of Chagrin Road and Savage Road in an amount not to exceed $7,975.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Commissioner Sweeney? Commissioner Rea?
aye.
Aye, motion stands approved. Thanks, Doug, that's a great idea on that. Okay,
These next two are just kind of accounting and housekeeping items. The first one is, when the building department does an inspection, there's I think it's a 3% fee that's then remitted to the state for the BSA fund down in Columbus. And up to now, that money, when a fee is paid, the 3% is put in this fund, and then there has to be accounting transfers to go ahead and affect the payment downstate. Making this a rotary fund. Rotary funds are kind of a device that's used, those funds where the money's just coming in and going right back out. It's really not ever going anywhere else. So the first action on here would be to establish a rotary fund for the building standards assessment, take it away from the special revenue fund. The second thing is for the maintenance and paving guarantees that we get in, they're being put into a rotary agency fund, because again, that's money that goes in at the beginning of a project and then goes back out once the contract's been accepted. Just, it's to simplify the process.
This will replace what previously was happening, that we had to amend the regulations.
Right.
Where we were doing CDs, now the banks aren't taking that money, so now we had to set up a different format to hold those paving and maintenance guarantees for subdivisions.
then we want to read number 17 and 18 together, Dave?
Yep.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board authorize the Geauga County Auditor to change the classification of the Building Standards Assessment Fund from a budgeted special revenue fund to a rotary agency fund. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board authorize the Geauga County Auditor to establish a rotary agency fund to be known as the Maintenance and Paving Guarantee Fund to allow for the proper accounting of revenue and expenditures associated with the receipt of monies for subdivision roads in Geauga County.
All right, I'll make those motions.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motions both stand approved.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna,
Make a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing the hiring of a public employee.
Second.
Make that motion.
yeah, before we do that, I just wanted to say one thing. Too many times I think that as far as our federal government is concerned, there's things that happen on the federal level that sometimes I don't think that other levels of government speak out, whether they're for or against in certain situations. And I just wanted to this is my opinion and my position only. I'm not speaking on behalf of the entire board, but I just feel that it's pretty important for me to at least be vocal to say that I don't support what the statement that was made by the President of the United States as far as we've got a bad situation in Missouri right now going on. And I took it pretty offensively that he, targeted law enforcement to have a review of law enforcement's availability of certain military surplus items that is being abused and used on the general public, when my background of just coming from law enforcement and understanding some of the tools and the equipment that was being used is stuff that is just standard everyday equipment that is given to law enforcement to do their job.
Right.
But to the position that our law enforcement had a vehicle, basically an armored style vehicle, to protect the officers that are responding to the calls of need of help, I think that it's a very, very irresponsible and an ignorant statement for the President of the United States to make, and I don't agree with him at all. And I could say that let's try and see what this state, the United States would be like without our law enforcement out there doing their jobs and not having equipment to do their jobs. And I just think that more government needs to speak out against some of these statements. We need our law enforcement, and they have to have tools to do their job. And to take that position to basically, try to second guess our law enforcement that's out there handling mobs and mobs of people, I think that we need to take a step back and review the whole thing and look at, these are the frontline people in our everyday need, and we need to support them. And I just, the whole country on one side of things has taken such an approach, and I'm not here to say what happened was right or wrong, because I don't know the facts. So I could just speak on the fact that I think that the President is very totally out of line, and it's just just another example of ignorance that he makes statements like that. So.
Well, I think, your police force, they put their life on the line every time they go out, even when they stop a car on the highway. How do they know the guy in the car is gonna pull a revolver on them or something?
Right.
And not to have some kind of protection.
So it's just, I think that
I
it's just a real
agree.
slap in the face
Right.
to all law enforcement across the
And
United States.
Your example is protective equipment, and as elected officials, I
Right.
think you want to do everything you can to keep your
They
law
should all be
enforcement
wearing
people safe.
Kevlar, they should all be,
And
should
for
all.
him to
Right.
want them to not have that protection.
Well, he certainly is protected.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he's got guards all around him. You
Right.
can't even get within 2 inches of him.
Yeah.
So you don't want your police
I
force,
think
your
we're all
safety
in
forces
agreement
protected?
there. I think we're all in agreement. But
Yeah.
I think if we're gonna take time to reject the statements that our president makes, we're gonna be here a long time.
Amen.
I mean, I
Now,
just.
none of
No,
us,
I just-
I
that
can
one
think we
just-
all agree.
Yeah, I mean, that one, that's
Well,
very
it's all-
egregious, and
yeah.
I agree completely with you. It's just
Right.
that,
It just makes you angry because, especially with Ralph being in the safety forces, you know what
Right.
you're up against. I mean, I always
Absolutely.
feel for these
it does the
guys.
same with the military.
Yeah.
He does, not
Yeah.
just the safety forces,
Step
but
on a mine
the
and they get
military
blown up.
defending our country. If
Right.
they,
And I just think that more government needs to speak out because everybody wants to be sheep and just follow along and stay silent. But at the end of the day, you know, I don't think that the residents of this county in majority agree with what was being said.
Oh, no.
And if we have to be a voice of our communities in our county, then I have no problem putting myself on record
No.
to say that the president is totally wrong. And that's the best way
He's
that I
wrong
could
in so
say it.
many.
That's
You gotta be able to.
But with that, we're gonna go ahead and move into
we
executive
gotta
session.
I
vote
made that,
on
I made that motion.
second,
Okay,
Commissioner Sweetie?
aye.
Commissioner Rea?
aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
I, and this will,
36. No action.
so, no action, and now we're gonna have another motion to go in executive session for the purpose of discussion, compensation of public employees.
So moved.
Second,
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Session, and we're gonna move forward with some action.
Is it 11:47?
Can we go with all these, because I gotta be somewhere at 12?
Yep, so Christine, if you can, just read number 1 through number 17.
All together?
Yep.
Okay. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the updated job description and regrade of the position of Commissioner's Clerk number 1306 from grade 10E to grade 11E. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the new position and job description for Budget and Finance Manager number 1318, grade 18E. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the reactivation and job description of the position of Budget Officer number 1308, grade 8. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the regrade and job description of the position of Director of Administrative Services number 1302 from grade E17 to grade E15. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the new position and job description for the position of Human Resources Specialist number 1316, grade 11E. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the new position and job description for Administrative Assistant number 1319, grade 6. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the new position and job description for Micrographics Coordinator number 2611, grade 11, 2611, grade 11E. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the new position and job description for the Archivist Records Manager number 2612, grade 11E. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the revised organizational chart for the Commissioner's Office to include the positions of Budget and Finance Manager, Budget Officer, Director of Administrative Services, Human Resources Specialist, Administrative Assistant, and the Archives and Records Center, and positions of Micrographics Coordinator and Archivist Records Manager to be effective August 31st, 2014. Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the promotion of Allison Brandenberry to the position of Micrographics Coordinator, number 2611, grade 11E, step 4, to be effective August 31st, 2014, at the rate of $21.06 per hour. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the promotion of Claire Wilson to the position of Archivist Records Manager, number 2612, grade 11E, step 3, to be effective August 31st, 2014, at the rate of $20.36 per hour. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the promotion of Linda Berhenny to the position of Director of Administrative Services number 1302, grade E15, step 2, $2,180.80 per pay period to be effective August 31st, 2014. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the promotion of Heidi Delaney to the position of Budget and Finance Manager number 1320, grade 18E, at a rate of $25.56 per hour to be effective August 31st, 2014. After the successful completion of a 180-day probationary period, the rate will increase to $26.91 per hour, grade 18E, step 1. Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the regrade of Commissioner's Clerk Christine Blair to grade 11E, step 3, at the rate of $20.36 per hour to be effective August 31st, 2014. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the promotion of Kathleen Hostetler to the position of Human Resources Specialist number 1316, grade 11E, step 3, at the rate of $20.36 per hour to be effective August 31st, 2014. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the promotion of Mary C. Schaub to the position of Budget Officer number 1308, grade 8, at the rate of $14.78 per hour to be effective August 31st, 2014. After the successful completion of a 180-day probationary period, the rate will increase to $15.56 per hour, grade 8, step 1. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the promotion of Deborah Ashburn to the position of Administrative Assistant number 1319, grade 6, at the rate of $12.64 per hour to be effective August 31st, 2014. After the successful completion of a 180-day probationary period, the rate will increase to $13.30 per hour, grade 6, step 1.
Motion?
I'll make those motions.
I'll second them.
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion standing approved. So then real quick here, to wrap this up, we are all aware of the acknowledgements with the portfolio and obligations with the Treasurer's Office for the month of July 2014. The weekly report for the dog warden, seized, impounded, redeemed, destroyed for the week of August 20th, 2014, as required by Ohio Revised Code. Then the meetings will be at the fair 4-H stage, Thursday regular time, 10 o'clock. The fair is between the 28th and the 1st. The 1st will be closed for Labor Day. The 2nd, the commissioners' meeting canceled. The 9th is a budget hearing and treasurer meeting, 9:30 a.m. The 9th is an investment advisory board, and then the 9th we also have a session as right after that at 10 o'clock. So then the 10th we have the Perry nuclear power plant exercise, and the 11th the commissioners will hold this session.
That's the dry run for the Perry.
Right. The only other thing that I meant to tell you is, if you're gonna miss the investment advisory board meeting, Chris suggested that we, appoint somebody to fill your seat.
Okay.
So if you want.
I'm gonna try like heck to see if I could come back a day early.
Okay.
So I didn't wanna try to miss that, so I definitely.
So if you can let me know
find
by
out.
Thursday or whatever,
Yeah.
we can add it on or whatnot,
Okay.
so that way we can take action.
Okay.
I have a question here. I had occasion to be going through the CCAO manual and the ORC, looking for something. And as we know, the commissioners are required to have 50 regular meetings per year.
Correct.
There was a paragraph there, or a sentence there, and at first reading it, it's, special meetings don't apply. I didn't know where, and so in other words, if we, for some reason, because we'd had cancellations, and we were down at the 48 level or 47 level, and
God, I might
we
not
wanted
have a
to,
job.
at this point in time, we scheduled special meetings. I don't know why they wouldn't apply, and I may have read it incorrectly, because I'm not a lawyer, but I'm thinking, wait a minute.
No, as long as we meet, we meet.
Well, what he's
Well,
saying
you wouldn't be
is,
calling a special meeting if you actually took action to schedule a session. Like, because originally you
Okay,
were
well, yeah,
supposed to
okay,
meet every
okay,
Tuesday
right.
and Thursday.
A special
You
meeting.
changed your schedule at the beginning
All
of
right.
the year, but if we have to cancel
Well,
sessions
I
at
just
the end
wanted
of
to
the
know
year,
if we got
and
clarification
yeah.
on that, because at, well, there's no requirement, according to that any commissioner attend 50 meetings.
It's not, it's a board.
We have to have 50 board meetings, and they made this mention of special meetings, and as you're saying, okay, all of a sudden we call the newspaper or something and say, we're gonna have a special meeting tomorrow because the roof blew off.
right,
That
is
wouldn't
their
count.
special meeting. That
If
would not
we,
count. Right.
at a regular meeting,
conduct
schedule,
regular business.
schedule a meeting for a specific date, a week ahead or whatever, that you feel that would be
Yes, and
legit.
actually what I was, when Ralph gave me his dates of when he's not gonna be able to be here, the last week of September and the first week of October, based on how our current meeting schedule is because of the drill on the 23rd, he's not gonna be here on the 25th. Mary's not gonna be here on the 25th. That would
I'm
be our
not
normal-
coming back from
That would be our
Europe.
evening meeting. We would have to
Guarantee you.
cancel the 25th, and we would
Right.
cancel the 30th. But because of the way the current meeting falls is that there would be no session scheduled on the 18th, I'm gonna put the recommendation on to cancel the 25th and the 30th due to lack of quorum, but then add the 18th back on as a
Okay.
regular meeting, so then
That's a
we would
Thursday?
have a Tuesday, Thursday meeting 2 weeks in a row, and then no session for 2 weeks, but Dave can approve financials on those 2 weeks that we wouldn't actually have regular meetings.
I just know that there's some people, and I don't really have any plans of missing any time, but then I'm not
And
planning on it,
And the
okay?
other time that he's not available at the beginning of October, there's no meeting on that Thursday. So, and Mary's off, so we wouldn't have to take any extra action because there's already no meeting scheduled.
Okay.
I will go through and count where we will be at.
That's, what- we just
And
need to
then
know that we're not gonna get in
If
trouble.
we have to make adjustments in October, November, we can do that, because Thursdays, evening meetings in November and December fall on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
So we
Right.
won't be here, so we will have to make, I'll look at what the numbers are, and we'll have to make adjustments to the schedule for the rest of the year based on that. So if there's any other days in October, November that you're not going to be here, let me know, and are you okay with the rest of those
Yep.
budget hearings?
Perfect.
Okay.
I don't have any budget hearing
You
thing.
don't have it yet because it hasn't been finalized. We're trying to make sure that,
I'd
I
like to
need
get
that
it
top
as
sheet
many
back
as
so
I
I can get it back to
can.
Heidi. So if there's, you're okay with not scheduling, having to reschedule any of those?
Well, I'd have done if we could have swapped those. I told her to swap the clerk of courts
And move them down, the
and
other two
the
down?
veteran services, if I'm not here the 9th, to move those with OSU to the 9th and the county home to the 9th, because we probably want to have a discussion with the clerk of courts with the dollars and cents as far as that money.
Yeah.
And we probably want to have a discussion with the Veteran Service Commission as far as that money.
Yep.
That was the
Yep.
one that I was most looked at when she
Right.
I
gave
won't
me
be
the
here the
schedule.
9th.
Yep.
Is that October 9th?
Yeah, I won't either, so.
No, this is.
I'd like that
September.
on a different
This
day.
is-
Yeah, on the 11th.
September.
We'll
I'll be
all
here in September.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah.
So
He's
we'll
not gonna
have-
be here on September 9th.
yeah, so we'll
So
all
that's
be
why
here
we're
for
trying
the
to
11th.
figure out.
So I'm trying to move the
Okay.
veterans and the, veterans.
I'd
and
like
the,
to be here as many as I can.
Yes,
Clerk.
we don't have,
I am
we
not
don't
coming
have
back.
budget hearings scheduled on October 2nd, the 7th, the 9th, or the 14th.
So if we could
So-
move those two, that'll help us out.
Okay,
Because at some point in time, we're probably gonna have to join those two together to talk more about that dollars and cents for the,
Yep.
for the buildings.
Yep.
so, and
Okay.
we're all done, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.